All right, hello, and welcome back. Sorry, I had to take a phone call there, but let's try another one. I mean, so far, I'm trying to think, is there anything about the deck I don't necessarily like? I do wonder a little bit about the Pyroblasts not being main. Pyroblast is kind of a vital card in Vintage because of all the blue matchups you face. But if we're going to face non-blue matchups, does that mean pyroclasm? See, that's how that guy got pyroclasm in his sideboard. He clicked the wrong name. No, pyroblast to fight the blue matchups, but if you're playing shops, if you're playing enchantress ish, that's probably fast bond combo is probably a better way to classify that other deck. Yes, I like to play the Thyroll. I mean, that's one thing I'm somewhat worried about. All right, so I'm going to lead Polluted Delta. I don't want to throw too much out there. Yes, sorry. We did not mean to mislead you, Aaron. Not those kind of dead cards. Hmm. So, I think I lead Polluted Delta, but I don't necessarily. Now, here's the thing. What if they play Root Maze on me again? Then I guess I do want my Mox Emerald in play. But we can trick them. We can make them think. We can make them think we're a bug deck. Oh yeah, yeah. We played against the Root Maze, Amulet of Vigor, Fast Bond, Courser of Crewfix deck. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's but not me. Not me said they played it already in a league. So there you go. See, I was treating this force of negation like it's going to be protection, but it isn't really. Because I can't. You can never proactively use a force of negation. That's one issue I do have with it. But I'm hoping they're setting up their ponder in a way that fights against bug. And then surprise. How about this guy? Now, does that red highlight mean the opponent is highlighting the card to read it? It does. Force pitching mental misstep. And force, we cannot force back. I'm kind of just, I want to get a general feel for this before I jump into a league. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm. Do you have your own Managorger Hydra? Okay. I was like, hey now, that's a little out of control. So they're at 2 cards left. So if I take that land, and I play deck, and I plus deck, I'm drawing 2 new cards. Then they attack it. So all Dak did was draw me 2 cards and make Tormagwick bigger. I could take both of these. I could cast the Ponder looking for something. Hi, buddy. Whoa, no. Okay. One, two. That will at least let me buy one more turn of a land drop. That sucks. Well, we have the protection in Mox Emerald at least. That's nice. Jeez. Huh. Okay. So they have sorcery, instant, artifact. We have land, creature, planeswalker. So that's how they have generated their 6. So if we could bolt Underworld Breach, eating the Dak Faden, the land, and the Mana Gorger, they shrink to 3/4s. 3/4s is not enough. So if I don't crack... Well, no, they just play Wasteland. Or they just use the Wasteland, and then the land is right back in there. I could if I had Gataxian Probe. I have Mental Misstep, unfortunately. Ooh. So here's a question. Is it worth... No, it can't. I was going to say, is it worth putting something back on top right now? I can't imagine it is. Okay. Well, that is not what we wanted. So land, artifact, instant, sorcery. So they have 4 but that I can't touch. I mean, it feels bad when you can't touch the butt. Alright, so we could rebuy that land. I mean, we still have a turn now. So if I play... If we bolt... Could bolt... Breach... Bolt again... This will be problematic if they have any kind of interaction as well. Okay, so we need to go in for this one. Bolt comes back, eating deck. And then preordain. Alright, so sorcery, land, sorcery. Oh, but we gave him creature back, and now we gave him enchantment, and we just die. We did. Okay. So I don't think they have an answer to this. And then they have blue cards. Do I need another Hydra? I mean, it feels like they potentially can't stop Hydra. Maybe Bolt is the weaker card there. I could believe that. Okay. Yeah, the pressure that Tarmogoyf exhibited was pretty big, pretty fast. One, two. No, it's not. This doesn't count as a spell, dummy. Sure. You can have an Explorer. So maybe they are just bug? Look at all the Mox Emeralds I got. So many Mox Emeralds. Wasteland. Sylvan Library is good. Pay costs. Deathrite Shaman. Strip Mine Verdant Catacombs. One, two, three, four, five, six. So we got a lot of bupkis. I mean, I could put pressure on so that they can't just sit and draw with Sylvan Libraries. I kind of like that idea. I mean, I kind of have an army of stuff. So, Mox Sapphire, tap their Mox Emerald. Sapphire and Emerald, and crack the Lotus Petal. I mean, either I attack with Lotus Petal. That might be better. Okay. They no longer wanted to play with us. I mean, maybe it's annoying to have to play against Breach or whatever, so... So, okay, the plan for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I need to take the dogs at like 8 in the morning because I get to sleep in. And then I'm thinking I'm going to do 1 or 2 streams or 1 or 2 leagues during the day tomorrow. What is this? This is not a keepable hand. And so do a couple of leagues. I'm going to try to go to bed normal. Or no, I'm going to try to go to bed earlier than normal so that I can wake up earlier than normal and then just kind of go right into the... Come on. Two cards on the bottom. I mean, I kind of want to keep these 5. So that I can start to set up Renin 6, and then if Renin 6 sticks and it recurs the fetch land, well, that makes Brainstorm all that much better. It lets me put back any excess lands. This is what I got. This is the hand. Basic Cool island. Like it. Had it the whole time. Had that sapphire. Okay. So, I mean, they're playing it on their own turn. Do I force it, or do I try to find another spell that lets me fight? Well, no, Pyroblasts aren't main. Pyroblasts are not in the main. Like that, the thing is, like, if I miss, but I think I would rather have had the card quality before I miss. Now, if they misstep it, that's the blowout, because they know I had it. Yeah, see? Well, I guess this ends up with me still having a force of will? Okay. Are they PO? They're PO. Why would you play out Mana Crypt if you don't have to? Lost the flip, chose Tails. Tails always fails. Six. Why'd you... I guess you have to tap the... Okay. I was going to say, why would you tap that? You have to tap the island for the blue. My bad. Yep. I guess I might as well not even pretend. Just make it go faster. Oh, I could tap the Mox Sapphire. That's annoying. Okay, so they're playing a new land. Esper PO? Lavinia's problematic. I do control 2 lands at least. I have 1 card left with the black floating. Vampiric, sure. This is when your opponent plays Vampiric and you go, hey, what'd you get? Maybe they tell you. Is that a scumbag play or no? If your opponent vamps, they had a floating black mana left over from the PO, so that I'm assuming that's why. So they didn't waste the floating black. I'm going to get another Trop. And I'm going to gain my incremental card advantage. Get a Mana Crypt. Tails never fails. Play to land. Yawgmoth Swell. I would like to Force of Negation that, please. I'm glad you played your land for no good reason. I hope you find a land on top of your deck, which I believe you might have. Or potentially a Force of Will. And then I would like Wrenn and 6 I would like to find a Dak Faden, please. So, my thoughts are I play Scalding Tarn. I crack it for a Sanctuary, put the Brainstorm on top, and then Ren can pick up the land again. Or, I don't really need too many more lands, but I'm thinking at least it's something I can throw away with Brainstorm. I shoot them for 1, so it's that many less cards they can get. It's kind of what I want to do. Wish I had like any kind of cantrip. Oh, Force of Will. Put back 3 lands. I mean, I can't play anything in my hand. I might as well just yield. These are good ones to play. I mean, I think part of it is even with some of the errors being made, I mean, this is going to happen. They have a vigilant Lavinia. It's a nice Teferi you have there. Maybe I should have pinged him. If I would have pinged him last turn, no, Ren would be dead had I pinged them last turn. The amount of justice occurring in this game is not large. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure they found a PO. Cast it off the top of the library. It'll be more impressive that way. Pick up my Bolus's Citadel. But do they still have enough to play it all back out? 4, 8, 12, 17. Yep, they've already got it with the monks. Okay. So, Esper PO. There are a couple things that might have been able to go our way instead. But they did not. Okay. I want the Flusterstorm for the PO at such. I think I want the Pyroblasts, obviously. So Lightning Bolt against Lavinia, I think I would be willing to keep it. As well as, I mean, you're not normally going to catch a Mentor, but I do think it's reasonable to try to catch. I find myself a lot of time, like what I'm pulling back out for these Pyroblasts, Underworld Breach, you know, the shave the package back down to 2 and 1, the extra little cantrips, and then I think I want Flusterstorm to fight. I want Pyroblast to fight. Maybe the Lotus Petal. The Lotus Petal is... Lotus Petal's a little especially in a world of Lavinia. Lotus Petal could be pretty poo. I would not say that I am the least lucky, but I would say it certainly feels that I things don't necessarily go my way, but a lot they go my way a lot of times. So that's not even I am very blessed in where I am at. I was gonna say not with this hand, but this isn't the worst hand. So I am going to the fact that the Flusterstorm should do a decent job of someone that's just like in analog mode versus digital. I think I'm going to lead. I would have liked it better as a fetch land, but I want to keep my Fluster options until I can set up Ponder as well. Yep. Just go head first into this Fluster. Yep. Controls, 1 lands. Ha! You're allowed to pay retail. You could pay retail for this. I want to know what's going on. I could have stripped them there, but no, they would draw Tolarian Academy off the top if I tried to strip them there. Let's be honest. They would just be like, oh, you took my Underground Sea? Tolarian. Or, no, Mox Sapphire or Mox Opal. I mean, they would Mox Opal. I didn't necessarily identify. So I hate to point out that they have enough mana that they can pay for Flusterstorm. Right? I cast Flusterstorm. It counters 1 for Paradoxical 1. Yeah, that sucks. Oh. Now, I could definitely be more upset, but I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so who cares? Play a Soul Ring. You're going to play Monastery Mentor, and I'm going to be so pissed. Merchant Scroll. You know what? No. Well, the thing is, had I Ancestraled in response, I can't cast any of the things I find off of it, really. You know, like, what do you think I gain by Ancestraling in response? I would much rather set up a chance. So now they have hard cast force. I was thinking I would much rather set up 3 cards that opponent can't stop guaranteed. But what good does that do if I spend that mana, whereas I wanted to stop something that they might do? Because, see, they had Lotus. What good does it do to have 3 cards in my hand when their PO resolves? They would have been able to cash in and go PO again here. I feel like that isn't the right way to approach it. So I'm going to ponder in an effort to find not those. So if they tap themselves in a way that puts them off, at least I want to be able to fire off an Ancestral Recall to get things started. Sure. So the last card in hand is Force Will. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. What's sick, on top of everything else, is that it's Mox Sapphire. Right? Okay, so we're going to go through the same dance here again. But I'm going to try to Ancestral so that I can at least fight back with Force of Negation. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I would have been tapped out when I went over. So I have 8 mana here. Yawgmoth's Will is number 1. If in response I Ancestral, they counter it. Okay, let's say I Force of Negation this. What if I let this happen? They did not crack the Lotus first, so they don't get the chance at Lotus. They go for Paradoxical, and I stop Paradoxical. So here, I will now Ancestral because they would have to cash in to try to stop me. And maybe we draw a Red Blast. But, so you're saying that, but I don't think you're keeping in mind, like, they literally could just counter the Ancestral itself, and I can't fight back. Not before. I needed them to pay these costs in first. Okay, so I get 5 total counters. I'm going to say 1, 2. Wait, why is that not working? And another opponent has just conceded. That's what I was trying to do, but apparently another opponent has just turned off the computer and disconnected. So, I mean, apparently we have that effect on people. That's 2 in a row. Like time traders drop to go play a different one. Whew. All right, so let's go back and actually look at the deck. So we really haven't gotten the chance to make use of Managorger Hydra as much. But I do think this is... I feel like this is pretty close. Now, it did feel a little weird with the Pyroblasts in the sideboard. It really did. But I do think Pyroblasts in the sideboard maybe do set us up better. I mean... maybe it's not too crazy. I do wonder about, like I was saying before, having the ability to crop rotation with Bojuka Bog and the Tabernacles that we already have there. Or alternatively, a lot of... So back before Eternal Weekend last time, Matt Murray, Chubby Rain, was playing this, and I think he actually won the challenge right prior to Eternal Weekend. And I asked him, and I said... yeah, I was asking him, and I said, you got to sell me on Merchant Scroll and Mystical Tutor, because I hate them. I hate them as cards. I don't want to play them. And we had Pulverize in the sideboard, the one where you can just sacrifice mountains. And he said Mystical Tutor will be able to get those kind of things. And Merchant Scroll is able to just like cash in and get the thing you need right now. Like, is Gush the perfect card to go with how you've set up with Mystic Sanctuary and stuff? Then you turn it into Gush. Is all your... now, that's the thing is, did you have Brain Freeze at the time? No. But Merchant Scroll is going to fit that same thing. When the only card you're missing is Brain Freeze to kill him, 1 in a blue says you can go get it. I mean, you can cash it in for a dig through time. I was sold on Mystical because of how Mystical set up the sideboard cards, but maybe we are there with the sideboard cards. We don't have permanents. What we have are instants and sorceries other than that Lonely Hydra there. I really do dislike Mystical Tutor, though, in general. But I think the big issue between those two, and I think, yeah, you just touched on it. Merchant Scroll puts it into your hand. Mystical Tutor is like next turn. You can have it next turn. And in my hand, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, but stop, delete, rewind. See, it's better if you just... It's good not to say it. It's better not to think it. So we're trying to keep the stream PG here. That's fucking not true. So Enlightened Tutor... well, no, I liked Enlightened Tutor in the Legacy one for sure because it gets you your Lotus. It gets you your Underworld Breach. Those are the things that really mattered because you usually had a density of cantrips that would find the breach, the Brain Freeze along the way. Sorry. I do wonder if... now, I mean, we could very well go back to the comments where we bumped out the black. Black had Demonic Tutor and Vampiric Tutor, I mean, Vampiric Tutor over Mystical is a lot more impressive when you, at instant speed, get to set up your Underworld Breach, and, Demonic Tutor is not, oh no, you can only get the blue instant here. And it's like, no, Demonic Tutor can go get Black Lotus if I need to. So maybe the trade-off in power, and that's why I'm less impressed with these blue options. If this is Demonic Tutor, if this is Vampiric Tutor, I mean, that could be reasonable. The other thing that gets me is trying, as I know how hard it is to fuel Underworld Breach, that being able to have the density of stuff to eat, if you can't hit stuff in the graveyard, then these double delve spells are working against Ren. They're working against Underworld Breach. I mean, am I wrong to want... I think of the two of them, I keep Dig Through Time, but am I wrong to think I don't want to play Treasure Cruise? I mean, what am I playing in its place, though? I mean, they're also working against Mystic Sanctuary. I have Mystic Sanctuary back a Dig Through Time before. That felt great. You're still not sold on green as the third color? I mean, I could see that. As much as I like Mentor and Teferi, I mean, I think I'm giving maybe a little bit too much credit to Ren. Am I giving a little too much credit to Oko? I mean, Managorger Hydra seems like it's cool and can kind of grow out of control. But I don't know. I do think that maybe I should be playing this with the black. I do think the ability to have this as vampiric and this as demonic can potentially set this thing up better. And Managorger Hydra is a main reason to be like, hey, I can grow out of control quickly. Mentor's going to go wide. Hydra's going to go tall. And if they can't deal with it, then maybe you're better off as tall. That's possible. So 4 color, no green. Looks like this. And that's the other thing, I guess. I was thinking Mentor and Teferi. I was not thinking about Lavinia. Lavinia is real. I guess Containment Priest out of the sideboard as well. I mean, it's kind of been a while since I guess I paid attention to what's moving around here. Let's go look. So what if we were not playing Ren and 6, but instead, I mean, maybe not everybody plays Teferi, but they'll play Monastery Mentor. Brave Sir Robin. Oh, this is the Riel deck. I don't think we're ready for that jelly. Four color. People that were in the open. I believe, yeah, this was my opponent in the NYSE. I mean, I don't necessarily. So, I find it especially hard to believe you're going to have Dreadhorde Arcanist and Dig and Treasure Cruise all competing for the graveyard there. And I mean, this is only playing 2 Breach. 2 Breach, 2 Freeze. Timeout, timeout, timeout. Robber of the Rich? Whenever Robber of the Rich attacks, if defending player has more cards in hand than you, so if you're losing, exile the top card of their library, and then on a turn you attacked with a rogue. Why is there a paragraph on this card? You may cast that card and spend mana as though it were mana of any color. What the hell is going on? But they have to have, so you would have to like play out your hand, play out your moxes, and attack. And then you would steal something because they would have more cards than you. So if you're on the draw, you would, I guess you just don't side it in on the draw, but here's spoilers. What if you didn't play it on the draw? All right, is this the version we already have? I'm not playing Days. Days is such garbage. We are not playing Days. Okay, so I think this kinda, I believe, is already this list. So 4-color Breach. We gotta put this in a better view. Okay. 4-color Breach. 1 Lavinia. 1 Monastery Mentor. 1 Lavinia. Pardon me. 1 Monastery Mentor. Okay. Dak, Narset, Teferi. Dak, Narset, Teferi. Ancestral Brainstorm. Two Fluster Gataxian Probe. Gataxian Probe. 1 Bolt, Misstep, Ponder. Bolt. Misstep. Ponder. 4 Preordain, 3 Pyroblast. And a Vampiric Tutor. 2 Brain Freeze. 2 Effin' Days. Demonic Tutor and Merchant Scroll, really. A Time Walk. 4 Force of Will. Gush, Dig, Treasure. See, this other list didn't have it, so Treasure. I probably should have typed more than Treasure. Oh, Treasure Cruise. Okay. Lotus Petal. Lotus and Petal, sorry. Yeah, you're not playing Repeal. Jet Pearl, Ruby Sapphire. 3 Breach. And 16 lands. Well, the fact this is 62 cards probably is a lot of that. Strand, Rainforest, Mystic Sanctuary, Island, 2 Tundra, 2 Underground, 3 Volcano. Okay, and then sideboard is 1 Tabernacle. Come on. Stop moving. Tabernacle. Pithy Needle. The last Pyroblast. Surgical Abrade Hercle. Lavinia, Trip Sprite Dragon. 2 Wear Tear. A Mindbreak Trap and 2 Ravenous Traps. Whoa, kind of getting a headache out of nowhere. Cool. So this stuff, I do like Blue Elemental Blast. Okay, so this is the most current version. Yeah, so I would definitely reconsider these Dazes, because Daze, I don't feel like Daze fits in this Xerexy style of deck, but I don't really hate any of the rest of this. I do like the idea of having Sprite Dragon as a curveball that the green version doesn't really have. I guess that's what your... I guess this is your Mana Gorger Hydra as Sprite Dragon, but... I don't know, Sprite Dragon's Sprite Dragon. So... it does its thing. It can... if people aren't ready for it, something like you can play out a few things, Sprite Dragon, and then a Time Walk can buy you just enough. Or hell, Time Walk, Underworld Breach, Time Walk, so that you have 3 turns in a row, and the Dragon plus those 3. I mean, this is now a lot of mana, obviously, but so Dragon, 2, 3, 4. You attack for 4, 8, 12. And any spell you play on the next turn increases that by 2 each time. So you have the potential. You find a Mox somewhere, you find a Preordain along the way, suddenly you got enough. The dragons could also complement main. Yeah, like what if these Dazes? Hey, thank you. Joe, how you doing tonight? Yeah, if these dragons were main, it gives you a little bit more diversity. It gives you... I mean, you're not all in to have the Breach and Freeze. Like, obviously, those are going to do good things for you. But your transformational sideboard doesn't always have to be in the sideboard. Like, if you play that thing main... you might kill somebody with it. They might almost think you're Not Me's blue-red deck, and then they try to fight you on the Sprite Dragons. You're like, that's adorable. Brain freeze you for 48. And then they have no library. All right, so if I'm stealing Sprite Dragons out of the sideboard, what would I want to use to pump everything back up? We already have Lavinia. I could, in this world of... I wouldn't mind another Mindbreak Trap, obviously. Like, people are going to be POing. People are going to be... I think Doomsday is a legit thing people are planning to do. So if we have Tabernacle, we have Pithy Needle, do we really have enough hate? Kind of diversify. We could have Ravenous Trap go up with another Surgical. I have to add it because... if I own the card, I can just right-click and say, "Give me another one." If you're on the God, if it's like a God account card that you don't normally have, then you have to literally pull it from the menu down. So like Mindbreak Trap, I owned a second one, so I could just add it. If I want to add a third Mindbreak Trap, I have to go enter it in. So okay, for purposes of graveyard based, I would say we have Rav Trap, Surgical. Pithy Needle would come in to fight Bazaar. You have Tabernacle, like we said. Is Hercule's Recall still... is Hercule's Recall still real? And what I mean by that is Is Shop still a deck? Do we need... I guess by only having one of them, but you don't have Mystical Tutor. You have Vampiric Tutor, or I guess you have your Merchant Scroll set up. But it's like, does it make sense to still to still have that out? That sometimes they have 2 spheres on you, or they have whatever, and then you're just like, knock all of their stuff away, and then that's all you really need. Deafening Silence says can't cast more than 1 non-creature spell. Deafening Silence is a card that's usually used to defeat us, so I do not foresee putting that into the sideboard. What are you contemplating that made you think such a thing? Yeah, not what you had hoped. Oh, what a shock. Now, along the lines of fighting, graveyard type, etc., Containment Priest. Oh, non-symmetrical? You're out of your damn mind. Yeah, that... If Deafening Silence was not symmetrical, just burn the whole thing to the ground. I mean... Come on, man. No, I'm just wondering, does Containment Priest fit better as flexible graveyard, say, versus like Ravenous Trap? Ravenous Trap, they're going to do something more busted. But like Containment Priest being able to stop Vengevine, I mean, it doesn't do crap against Hollow One. Hollow One still comes and eats your lunch. But Narcomoebas, stuff like that. Containment Priest can do some... Somebody's going to play Oath. You know they're going to play Oath. So maybe just head them off at the pass. You know. Alright. So one more look at this deck. Is the green just not... I mean, I love some Rug Walkers. Obviously, it got me a top 8. But how much... I think Pulverize won 2 matches on its own. And Ancestral Recall won a lot of matches, including that Camera match. If you did not see me Ancestral Recall, crack Mystic Sanctuary, put Ancestral Recall back on top, Gitaxian Probe, redraw Ancestral Recall again. I just drew 7 cards on my turn. It's pretty good. So, yeah, I think that whole ancestral line can happen in any kind of deck. The looping of Time Walk and Gush and stuff like that, I think that's better served when you have a clock. I mean, Mentor's a clock. So, you do have predilection for a Tundra, that is for sure. I don't know. Like, is there one of those, you know, you read the magazine and it's supposed to be like, what kind of color pie are you? And you answer questions and it tells you your deepest, darkest secrets. I've always known that I'm blue, but the type of blue mage has changed over time. Once upon a time, I was very... You should sponsor the .deck TLD. Magic.deck would be an amazing domain name. That's true. No, once upon a time, I would say I was very... We need to save the world. I was going to go into nuclear physics because all it would take if you split the atom apart with fission, you gain energy. If you put an atom together in fusion, you also get energy. So obviously, we just need to link these two things together in an unending cycle of unlimited energy. I mean, right? How hard is that? So once I've accomplished that, this is like what I thought like when I was little. Okay, I just solve, unlimited energy. Once that's done, now we have this unlimited energy. We can use that to create like planetary sized ships, because if you put all of humanity on this one little rock, at some point it's going to go poorly. So maybe we should start spreading humanity out. And if you have this source, energy source, then obviously it's going to be a lot more. I must have been watching Star Trek, because it's like, oh yeah, once you don't need to worry about material stuff, everybody will get along. People in Star Trek didn't get along. You fought battles all the time. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems like I was a much bigger idealist. So, I guess what is the thinking about others, the altruism that I wanted to save everybody else? I feel like that's a little bit of blue-green, maybe blue-white. Coming up with the ideas is blue-red, because I was going to be the nuclear physicist. So yeah, okay, we got blue-red there for sure. But I think in time, I've learned that I'm more blue-black. Oh, wait, where is it? Hold on. Perfect. I mean, even my friend figured out what I really was. He got a deck box made for me, and I think it kind of calls out appropriately. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm Demir. You have the blue aspects, and there are definitely a lot of the color pie of black to me, for sure. So I forgot I had that. It was sitting right there out of the corner of my vision. So, well, all right. I can feel I'm getting tired. What time is it? So the good news is, when I stop waking up so early, I'll stop falling asleep at this time. But yeah, tomorrow, so it'll be a little bit earlier. Steve will still be sleeping out on pineapple time, so he won't necessarily see. But like I said, I got to take the dogs in the morning. I'll probably be back, I'm thinking, probably about 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock a.m. So I understand other people might be at work, but hey, that's what videos on demand are for, because it saves them and you can always watch them on my Twitch page. Insert brand plug here.